computer audio. Okay. All right, click if you want to switch to a different. All right, it says I'm connected, so that's good. Let's move this out of the way. We'll see how that works. Okay, so I wanted to give you guys a demo on some basics that you're going to want to use with the layers project. So one of the first things is using your layers menu and using the layers in Rhino. It can be found over here. It's on the it's over here with these panels on the side. When I open mine up, I get a whole lot of layers. You don't always do that. Sometimes you get just one, and then you can add more by clicking on new layer, and it'll create a new layer. Generally, the default color is black. You can change the color of any layer. That just has to do with how the layer objects are displayed. Okay, so I've got a bunch of them here. And so one of the first things that we talked about is taking your sketches, either from Procreate, or maybe you're working with a reference image from the internet. So what you'll want to do is get one. And okay, good, it's up here. Wasn't sure. I don't know if that's showing on the Zoom though. Let's do an image search of something. Let me see. Just look at images. And this is cool. Let's take that. And I save that. I'm going to save that image to my desktop. Oh, shooey. Oh, I hate these things that save as web files. Let's see if we can find something else. Let's do an image search of a cat. There we go. Let's take this guy. And we're going to try and save him down to the desktop. There we go. Okay, cat. And we're going to put that in the desktop. There we go. All right, now I'm going to close this down. So most of the time when I'm working with a two-dimensional project like this, I usually just work in the top viewport, which you can get to by double-clicking on that on the title. So the command to bring in an image, so you can use it for a reference, there's actually two. One is background bitmap, which has a lot of limitations. So I recommend that you guys use picture. And if you type in picture, it'll ask you then where to bring it in from. Okay, so you have to navigate to where you save the file. That's why it's always important to remember where you save your files. I'm going to go cat, and then it says open. Now notice, now in the command line, it says first corner of picture. So where you want to put it? I can put a corner here, and then I'll start to drag down. And then the other corner, or the length, is here. All right, so I got this cat now in on my Rhino. Now, if I go to my perspective viewport, I can see that because I worked in the top viewport, it ended up laying on the ground plane, okay, or our X and Y axes. So it's laying there, but that's fine. I really want to work from the top. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the layer 6. I'm going to call that reference image, okay? And I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to change that object's layer over to reference image. Now, if I close it, if I hide it, the cat disappears. Now, if I want to trace it, I can lock it so it stays up, and I'm going to be able to trace it. So I have this reference here. I'm going to go and hit a control point curve, and let's go here and see how. Just going to do this. I'll do a quick outline. Now, the control point curve, you kind of have to get used to how it feels. You can see how I'm not clicking exactly where I want the line to go. There are other multi-point curve tools too. There's one that will put the curve directly through the points where you click. Do you have a question? Or are you just putting your hand up? That's okay. Yeah, just jump out because I'm not actually looking at you guys as I'm doing this. All right, and we got this. And you can see I'm not perfect here, and that's okay because I can go back in and edit this once I get, okay. I'm going to hide that here, and now I have this closed curve. Let's look here. Maybe we might want this point. Notice I'm using gumball to just rearrange things. Okay, this is cool. So I've got now, I'm going to call this one outline cat. Okay, and that's the white. So I'm going to click on this. Now my curve is selected. You can see what I did by the top over here in my command history. And I'm going to right click, and where it says change object layer, I'm going to put it right there. So now that is white. So when I go to, let's say I'm going to do the cat face, I'm going to take this check mark and I'm going to move it over here to purple. And I'm going to show my cat again. And here's where I'm going to do, let's name the layer while we're at it, just so I can stay organized. Some of my files have 50 layers because it's one way to stay organized. And you can create sub layers, you can nest them so that you can hide a bunch at once or lock a bunch at once. So this I'm going to call cat face. All right. And so maybe I'll start with a circle and I'll go, here's a circle here. Oh, wait, no, that's an ellipse. Yeah, let's use the ellipse. So I'm going to click on this so we can see the sub menu. This one is an ellipse with the diameter. So I'm going to use that one. And it says start at first axis. I'm going to put one click here, and then see how I can use this. I can just open it up as wide as I want that. So I have one eye there, and I use the ellipse command. So suppose I just wanted to create another one just like it. I can use another command called mirror, M-I-R-R-O-R. Okay, I hit enter, and I'm going to copy this, yes. And so it wants the start of the mirror plane. So I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to just wiggle this line around so I get the eye sort of where I want it. I'm going to click it there. And now if I hide that reference image, I now have two eyes. All right, I can adjust them too as well. If I click on here, I can mess with some of the points and maybe change the shape a little bit. Something like that. All right, again, here's my reference. Okay, now suppose, let's see, what are the other things that I was going to do? All right. So I like my cat with just eyes. And maybe I'm going to make these together on the same plane. Okay. We'll just keep the two of them up. But now I think I want to make a cat ornament. All right, I'm going to make a circle. I'm going to put it like right about, let's put it here. That's the center. And I'm going to make it about this wide. I'm holding down the shift key. That'll lock it. Remember, the shift key will lock it to 90 degrees. And so here's this. I have this really crazy idea that I want to put all these cats in a circle. So I'm going to use the polar array command. Okay, now an array is a group of something in an organized fashion. But polar, I've got caps lock one. Polar array, or array polar, is a command that creates multiple things. I'm going to turn on my center OSNAP down here. Now, if I ride my cursor around the outside edge and I have the center OSNAP on, it'll find the center automatically. Not from anywhere, but if I go touch the edge and roll, So if I click here, it puts that there. So the command was asking me for the center. So I picked the center of the circle. Number of items. As of right now, it's 3. All right. And the angle to fill right now, the default is 360 degrees. I'm just going to hit enter. And now it gives me 3 cats. Wow, that's really cool. But I want more than 3 cats. I'm going to click on this items up in the command line. And I'm going to make this 6 cats. And now I can see what 6 cats looks like. That's kind of fun. I'm going to hit enter. And now I have all these cats. But how am I going to connect them? The design that I had for this is a little bit like, this is too busy. I have to figure out how these are going to connect. I have all these overlapping lines. And when we make this project, we're going to be controlling where the laser cuts. So I'm going to choose all of these, and I want to show you a really cool command called curve boolean. And you can find this at the bottom of the curve menu at curves from objects, I think. But I'm just going to type in curve boolean. And what this allows me to do is to click inside regions that I want to keep. So let's say I want to keep this outside circle. I'm going to click outside. And now the circle is definitely going to be there. Now I'm going to do this. Each of these is, now not all of these cats are going to have ears. Let's do it that way. So we've got just 1 ear on the side of each cat. All righty. Oh, yeah, that one's there. I don't want that. Oh, no, wait. Yeah. So now if I hit enter and I take the gumball and just drag this off, that's my new design. This would be really kind of fun to cut out of. So, but still, so this may be the top layer. We're going to move that to the blue and change that. So I'll cut this out and it'll be a circle. And then this curve, I'm going to also choose the interior. So I'm holding down shift to select multiple things. I'm also going to select all these eyes. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want the, I'm going to select the eyes in that. And now I'm going to hold down the shift. And those are going to be on the green layer. All right. So now I can have this all cut out of one material, the green, and then the blue. So this could be a 2-layer ornament that's kind of about cats and their eyes. All right, so that's just one way that you can start to work with some of these designs that you have. Any questions? No. Okay, I am recording this, so the plan is to put this up on Canvas probably later tonight or tomorrow. So you'll be able to refer to it. But in the meantime, while I'm still recording, if you have any questions, any thoughts, here's another way we can use curve boolean. Let's say I've got a square and I'm going to do an offset. I showed a couple of you the offset command. I'm going to show it to everybody now. Offset, and I'm going to make a frame around this. Okay, this was Sam that I showed this one to. Now, if I want to create, actually, let's put this on the red layer so I can hide everybody else. I'm going to go change object layer, and now you'll see they're red. So I'm going to make that my active layer. Wherever this check mark is, anything new is going to be created on that layer. So I'm going to hide all these other guys so I don't see them. And now I can just zoom in on this. So let's say I want to make like this geometric pattern. I've got a square. Let's do another square here. Let's do some circles. I'll do a circle like this and maybe another circle like here. All right. Now I'd like these to have more dimension and be able to have cutouts So I'm going to take each of these and I'm going to do offset again. But this time, I'm going to go both sides. And the distance is not going to be 1. Let's make it 0.25. All right, and there. So I've got that. Let's do that with this one as well. Again, see now, I got to go back up and click both sides again. But see how there's in our command line, we have all these options. But see how that little B is underlined where it's both sides? Now, if I start to click on it, it'll underline the whole thing. But if I just type in B and hit enter, it automatically brings up that option. So now I have both sides. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to right click. That brings up the last used command. I'm going to hit B again. So on both sides. And here we go here. Both sides again. I'm going to hit the B. And there we go. So if I use that curve boolean command again, curve boolean, I'm going to click inside the regions I want to keep. So I want this and this, this. Maybe I want to make this part a tiny bit skinnier. We're going to do that here. And maybe I'll go here and there. Let's say I want to cut this here. And also here. So that'll be one big cut. We're going to leave that part empty. Here's this and this. I'm going to go here again. And all right, so I'm going to hit. Yeah, actually, let's do that and hit enter. And now I just took that design and I made this. So this could be one layer of something really geometrical. And I could do another one. I could start with this and I could move these around even. Like let's say, remember I was talking about the selection earlier, dragging left to right versus right to left. If I start on my right-hand side and drag towards the left, anything I touch will be selected. This is really powerful because now if I only want things, if I drag from left to right, then anything that is fully enclosed in there will be selected, but not everything I touch. This is, I'll remind you guys of this. It's really, it's super useful when you start to get into really busy things. But let's say I want to do curve boolean again. Curve boolean. But this time I'm going to do something different. Okay. This time I'm just going to choose, oh wait, no, I have to choose all these first. It asked me for what curves am I using first? And that's important. So now this time I'm just going to go with these here. This might take me a long time, so I'm not going to do all of them. But you can see here how I could do that. Oh, but wait a minute. Actually, I could just have done those by clicking inside. All right. And now this, I can create a totally different pattern using all the same curves. All right. Maybe part of it might be like this. That would be fun. Except this isn't connected. Maybe I'll have to do it that way. Yeah. And maybe that's all I want. I'll hit enter. And there we go. I can drag it off again. And again, I still have all my pattern curves, but I can go back in here. All right. So curve boolean is a fun one to play with if you like patterns and if you feel like doing some interesting things with two-dimensional patterns. If we go back up here to our 4 viewports, everything that, because we were working on just the top viewport, they're all flat still on the, you can see on there. All right. Okay, got the curve boolean in there, got the offset. Okay, so some of these commands you'll do later in your assignments, but I like to introduce them at least a little bit So as you're starting to design your first project, in addition to doing your assignments, you have some more commands to choose from. Okay. No questions, comments, anything? Okay. All right, I'm going to stop. Yes.
So when you like draw like the curve and then stop like the drawing of the curve, when those two points intersect, they're like at a straight angle instead of those curved angles instead of waves. Like that point.
More curvy? Yes. Yes. Here, hang on, and I'll let's go here. Hide everything else. So as you've probably figured out by now, we have curves that have just, angles. These are actually 2-degree curves. But what we can do is we can add more curve points on here by rebuilding it. We go rebuild. Type in rebuild. If I can type here. Okay, right now it has 7 points. You can see in this. If we go to 10 and we make them 3rd degree, that means that there's more math involved in the relationships of these points. And I could change the number here. I can make this 8 instead. And you can see now what the preview will show you as well is this little red mark. And this red mark shows you the differences between your original, which was 7 points and 1 degree, not 2 degrees, sorry, 1 degree, or the 8 points and 3rd degree. You could actually, let's see what happens if we go down to 2. If we go down to 2, it has less math involved in terms of the relationships that it calculates between these points. But there we can change. Does that answer your question, Kelhan? Okay. So you can change the relationships of how those points are on your curves. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop recording. And where's it at? Here we go. Stop recording. Yeah.